Looks like we are live and alive. Episode 30 of the All American Hollywood. How about it? How about it, Jack?
It's something, bro. It's been about, almost getting close to 2 years starting this.
Getting close to 2 years in the making. I mean, this is an amazing feat. 30 episodes in, 6,370 something subscribers. I mean, it's a big achievement. It's a big achievement for sure.
Yeah, I mean, it's just crazy to think. I did not know this was really going to happen.
But we thank every single one of you. Thank you for the people tuning into the stream. Thank you for liking the shorts, commenting on the shorts, whatever. We did just post a short if you want to go check that out.
Sure.
But, we got a ton to talk about because we missed a lot, So, I guess it's around our minute mark. You want to kick things off, Jack?
Sure. So, we've got to talk about the hot topics right away. The NFL. Just want to give a rundown of the season since we haven't really been on talking about the NFL very much yet. But, moral of the story, but let's think here. MVP.
MVP.
I think it's down to 3 people right now, but it's really just.
Well, it could be 4 because Saquon,
he's not playing though.
It's true. He's not playing Week 18. But we're thinking Saquon maybe. We'll just throw him in the mix here.
Yeah.
Because he's got a chance, right? I mean, 2,000 yards is that's pretty solid.
Yeah, it's all right.
But then,
it's all right.
But the other 3 are like major,
talent. Joe Burrow played out of his mind, putting up crazy stats, but his team got winning.
Yeah,
his team is.
But they've made a great second half.
Yeah, but they're on. They have a better chance of not making the playoffs than making. So
yes.
That's why his stock is down.
But amazing stats.
Most likely between Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson for who's an MVP.
Which.
It's a toss-up.
You guys tell us. I don't think there's any wrong answer.
I have my opinion. My opinion, I think, is Josh Allen. He is the team. The team revolves around him. The team backs him up. I think same thing goes with Lamar, but I think Josh Allen overall is having a slightly better season because of the teams, the comparison of the teams, and I feel it's kind of tough because their stats are so similar, so there's not a whole lot separating. So I think at a certain point you look at who matters more to the team. I'd probably have to say, in my opinion, Josh Allen has a bigger impact on the team more than Lamar Jackson does for the Ravens.
I'm gonna have to agree with you, Jack, on that one. Josh Allen, he really showed it against the Lions. He really showed that he is the guy. No matter, you throw him out there and he's gonna get the job done. We talked about it on our, we talked about maybe the Bills will struggle, and here they are, a 2 seed in the AFC. This is fantastic. I don't think any other quarterback would be. Mahomes might even struggle with the receivers that he has.
Yeah. But don't get this wrong though. I think if Lamar Jackson got the MVP,
it wouldn't be like a Jokic Embiid thing.
I'd be personally okay with Lamar Jackson getting as well.
It would be.
It's in my opinion, it's a toss up, but I have to give the edge to Josh Allen.
Just because, MVP, it's most valuable player.
Yeah.
If you took Lamar off the Ravens, I think the Ravens would be sort of successful. This got to be the closest MVP race I ever seen.
I feel bad for Burrow though. His team's his defense.
Yeah,
his defense is terrible.
His defense, oh my god, they give up 40 points a game.
Think about it. Joe Burrow, most touchdown passes in the league, most passing yards in the league. Receiver, Jamar Chase.
Yeah.
Most receiving yards. Most receptions, I believe.
Yep.
Most touchdowns receiving.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he's close to winning the Triple Crown.
Yeah, it's pretty much just St. Brown. Okay, he's not going to get caught in the touchdowns. Mm-hmm. He's not getting caught in receiving yards. There's a possibility that he can get caught in receptions.
Yeah.
Other than that, though, it's looking like he's going to get the Triple Crown. So you have the best receiver in the league, the best QB in the league, and your team is struggling to make the playoffs. They are on the border right now, so it's crazy to think that. And then they have a great defensive player, Hendrick.
Interesting.
He's elite,
He is elite.
but then look at the rest of the defense,
No.
and it's
there's
guys
there's
who should be
nothing.
back in Jordan. So it's messed up. It's really unfair to Burrow because he's playing at the peak of his career right now, playing the best football in the world.
I know they're wasting his talent.
Yeah, and he's got nothing to show for it.
Even the GM came out and said, like, we need to do something now because Burrow only has so much of a prime. You can only play like this for so long. And maybe it's 5 years, but I mean, that defense has been non existent all year.
Dude, they're
All year.
I'm trying to remember what game it was. Burrow and the Bengals put up like 42 points.
And they still lost.
Yeah, I think it was the Steelers.
I think it was. Yep.
Dude,
yep,
they
it was.
put up a crazy.
I think it was like 48-42 or something.
Burrow threw 5 touchdown passes, over 400 yards, no interceptions, and still lost.
I mean, that's.
I don't even know how that happens.
I mean, all your defense needed to do was stop them once, and
Pretty much.
it was just bad. Thoughts on Baker not making Pro Bowl?
He got snubbed. In my humble
You see,
in my humble opinion.
you see. Well, who were the
Okay, it was Sam Darnold
Jared Goff and Jaden Daniels?
Yeah. See, I'm okay with Jaden Daniels.
Okay,
I'm
let's.
okay with Jared Goff. Sam Darnold, though, low key, let me be completely honest. He hasn't played great. He hasn't played as good as Baker Mayfield.
How many turnovers is Baker?
Baker Mayfield has a lot less to work with and is putting up better stats. Baker Mayfield is top 3 or no, top 5 in majority of the statistics for all the statistics as a QB. Sam Darnold is nowhere near that. He's playing good this year, but he's not the reason the Vikings are great or that they're 14-2 right now.
Yeah.
They have a great team around him,
Yeah, he's just doing enough.
and it's not his fault that he's got a good team around him. Praise to him for that. Yeah. Shouldn't be the Pro Bowl, in my opinion. Okay. I think it's got to be Baker Mayfield. Now, not as good team. You know, Chris Godwin hurt.
Yeah, he's gone. Mike Evans half the year didn't play. They were still winning games.
Yeah, and it's tough, and he's still playing great as a QB. In my opinion, yes.
Okay.
This is my opinion.
Okay. You know, it's a valid point. And the thing is, what I've been seeing is that he should have been in for Jaden Daniels, what I've been seeing. But I think that's outrageous.
Jaden Daniels having one of the greatest rookie QB seasons of all time. He's leading.
Doesn't he have 1,000 rushing yards, too?
Something.
That's crazy.
He's leading a terrible Commanders team, a Washington team that hasn't made the playoffs. Or hasn't
It's Kirk Cousins.
Yeah,
They're the Redskins.
Yeah, so explain it. He's essentially the face of a franchise that is horrible. And he's built them up to a playoff team in a tough division. Like a division where you have to play the Eagles twice in a year. And he led a game-winning drive against the Eagles.
That's true. That was a great
That was
comeback.
a rookie.
That was a great
In my humble opinion,
comeback.
better rookie QB than Caleb Williams.
Yep, and it's. I mean, I'm not gonna tell you you're wrong because you're right. I mean, Caleb Williams has been a big letdown. We thought it was one of the best situations to walk into.
It's not a bad one, but then you look at the pieces around him. You're like, okay, that offense has a lot of firepower, but there's 2 issues. Offensive line is garbage. He gets sacked, you know.
A ton.
Didn't he get sacked 10 times in a game or something? It was horrible.
I think he got sacked 9 times in one game.
Dude, it was actually horrible.
But that's bad. Like that's like.
And then
I think that was Russell Wilson with the Broncos, right? Where he was just running for your life.
Yeah. So, and then second thing, coaching. He's had
Eberflus.
and then now he's got the interim head coach.
I don't even know his name.
They're just horrible. They're even worse with him.
Yeah, I mean they're just bad.
Here's just a part about.
I saw a sports analysis get mad.
Get
You said that Mahomes didn't make the Pro Bowl. Do you agree?
Bro, Mahomes shouldn't have made a Pro Bowl.
No.
He's had such a down year.
I think the 3 guys who made the Pro Bowl
Do you think?
are in the MVP conversation.
See,
I mean,
okay, hear me out. If the Chiefs didn't get away with, debatable calls, they didn't get the benefit of the doubt a lot of times, and he wasn't on surrounded by a great team, he wouldn't be getting talked about this year.
And his stats are horrible.
And if his team wasn't 15-1 right now, he wouldn't even he'd been forgotten about.
Exactly.
So, no, I do not think he should have made the Pro Bowl. He's not better than Lamar, Burrow, Allen.
Could you believe that Travis Kelce made the Pro Bowl? Because I didn't agree with that. I mean, he's had
who else made it?
3 touchdowns. It was just him. It's him and Brock Bowers.
See, yeah, I agree with Bowers because he's been the best tight end in the league in my opinion.
Yes, he's been the best.
I picked him up off of
The
waivers
best by far.
in fantasy somehow.
Wow. He
But
didn't get drafted? Dude, because he was...
he's the only good thing about my team. But anyways, Kelsey, I mean, I'm trying to think here. In the AFC,
Dude, there's Jonnu Smith, man. He's had the year of his life.
hey, but you know what he doesn't have? He's not dating Taylor Swift.
That's right.
And he's not on the Chiefs.
That's right.
So,
I mean, the thing here's Kelsey's stats. They're like 850 yards and 3 touchdowns. That's a Pro Bowl tight
it's
end.
solid, but it's not Pro Bowl tight end wise. He's going back to when he played with Alex Smith as his QB.
Yeah, it's not even close. Like it's garbage stats, and Mahomes has had garbage stats. I mean, the only reason Travis Kelce made it was because he had the most votes. And also, who also had the most votes but didn't make it was our boy Kirby Joseph.
Dude, he
How
got
did
snubbed.
he not
He has
make
the
it?
most picks in the league.
Yes, and he had the most Pro Bowl votes as a free safety.
Yep.
And keep in mind, they choose 2 free safeties. He was not one of the 2.
I mean, you can't tell me that he's not one of the top 2.
I mean, that's
he is the anchor of the Lions defense right now, with Hutchinson, Anzalone.
he's the reason they pulled away in that Niners game, because he had those 2 picks. And if it wasn't for those 2 picks, we might have lost that game.
Kirby got robbed. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I mean,
it's big robbery.
I don't know how anybody can justify that. He's been, in my opinion, the best safety in the league.
Yeah, I mean, there's only a couple guys that you could. I mean,
I mean,
Xavier McKinney
Okay,
has been
he's not the
amazing,
best. He's top 3.
but he's easily top 3.
This is Kirby Joseph's best year he's playing right
Yes.
now. And how he didn't make it, it's beyond me.
Because Brian Branch made it as a strong safety.
He's having a good year. Him and Kirby Joseph are like the only positives on the defense right now. For the
Yeah,
Lions.
because they're the only 2 who haven't getting injured.
Some of those guys are just terrible. We're just literally a practice squad defense.
Because we're gonna flow into we're obviously flowing into the Lions here. I mean, Terrion Arnold. Like, what are your opinions on Terrion Arnold? Because I get mad every week seeing the guy play.
Hey,
Because he uses his hands way too
this
much.
might be a hot take, but I like Terry. By him using his hands too much, he's showing he's not backing down. He's not backing down from receivers. He's playing tough. He's not, letting the calls get to him. He's still playing his game. And I think as he gets older and gets more experience in the NFL, he'll,
The hands will naturally.
I think he'll just get better and figure out ways to use his hands without getting penalties at home. Not using it as obvious. I think that's what's going to happen. So I like Terrion Arnold right now. My home
Okay. Because he's been the cornerback 1. Did you hear that Anzalone might? We did. I don't know. Did you hear about that? Anzalone possibly coming back. He's questionable on the injury report.
Yeah, I saw those.
I don't. Do you think you bring him back? What do you like?
I mean, he hasn't played since week
9, I think.
Yeah,
8.
early in the season.
I mean, he hurt his forearm too. So if he takes one good to his forearm,
Yeah, I don't know if it's worth it, but
but again, I mean, it's a big game.
the
and
difference is the 1 seed or the 5 seed.
That's true. And I just seen a stat that 49 1 seeds have gone to the Super Bowl. Only
Yeah.
3 5 seeds have ever gone to the Super Bowl.
Yeah,
Well, because you got to go, because the 6 and 7 usually lose, and if you win as a 5, you got to go to the 1. And beating Minnesota 3 times, or I guess 2 times, and you have to go to Minnesota, which you did beat them.
so let's think about this. Let's think about this real quick. Hypothetically, Lions win, Vikings lose. Lions get the first round bye. Vikings got to come. Like, say Vikings win their game. They got to go to Detroit. That dude playing the Vikings, and like the Lions playing the Vikings 2 times in 1 year is crazy.
And beating them 3 times in 1 year?
Hey, I didn't say it.
I mean, that's tough.
Dude, it's tough to be 3 times.
But then if you flip it around,
Vikings win.
Vikings win. Vikings get the one.
Lions win their wild card game. Go in, play Minnesota at Minnesota. Dude, that'd be crazy.
That's tough. Because if the Lions beat the Vikings again, let's just say they beat them as the 5, right? DeJean or Arnold? DeJean. I'm not gonna lie, DeJean's having a fantastic year.
Yeah, I can't disagree.
You know the song too, right?
Yeah, I think we all do that. He's representing out there. He's representing out there. Not even gonna lie. But I think Terry Arnold will.
But in the long run, I think it's Arnold.
I think Terry Arnold's just got it figured out.
I think he's like a Jameson Williams. Like, he has all the talent he needs. He just got to put it together.
J-Mo's playing great, bro.
And J-Mo has been.
He's the guy when the team's not playing great. Like the 49ers. Lions are not playing good. If they're struggling a little bit. Hook and ladder play.
Yep.
Get to the guy with the most speed. Takes it to the house. Next thing you know, the energy shifts. Lions win the game.
And I'm pretty sure, wasn't that like after that, like Kirby got like those 2 picks?
Yeah.
Or like soon after, like a couple drives after.
Yeah, he got a pick.
So yeah, I mean, he is definitely a swing guy because he just catches those deep passes, and you're like,
He's a big player, and when it happens, the momentum shifts big time. And he's very crucial for the Lions. He got St. Brown as the reliable catch. He has like he's like Larry Fitzgerald, bro. Like, Larry Fitzgerald has more tackles than he does drops.
Yep.
He kind of St. Brown gives me that vibe. He's reliable, going to catch the ball.
I mean, that would be amazing.
On a 3rd down and get you the 1st down. J-Mo is the big play guy. You do get like 2-3 big plays out of the game.
Yeah. I don't disagree with you on that. That's exactly what he does. And, Amon-Ra, I mean, if we could have a Larry Fitzgerald on our team, I mean,
that's who I'd compare
that's
him to.
deadly. I mean, that's, 10, 11 years of greatness and then Hall of Fame. I mean,
let's think about it. So, St. Brown, he's in my opinion, he's literally the archetype. St. Brown's not the fastest. He's a great route runner. He's tough, very reliable. That's literally what Larry Fitzgerald was. He was by far not the fastest. Great route runner though. Made up with his route running.
He just always was open.
And he never dropped the ball.
Nope.
I think he dropped the ball like 7 times in his career.
That's crazy.
Throughout an entire.
And I think there was a thing about Amon-Ra like not dropping a lot.
Yeah.
Was it like 2 passes, I think, or something? I think it's like, I don't think it's many. But,
so,
all right.
Talking about the Lions, though. I think you got to talk about some teams that are on the border of making playoffs.
That's true.
You got the Broncos, the highest percentage chance to win. If they win, they make the playoffs against the Mahomes Chiefs.
Yep. Carson Wentz starting.
Yeah. But then the Dolphins have a chance to also get in. If the Broncos lose.
If the Broncos lose and the Dolphins win,
the Jets, that is very possible. The Jets are horrible. No easy way to say they're terrible. Traded for Devontae Adams. Did not help.
Yeah, Aaron Rodgers has looked like cheeks.
The team that I want to win and make it to the playoffs is the Bengals.
Which is the only way for that to happen.
Broncos and Dolphins have to lose, and they have to beat the Steelers. No,
they have to beat the Steelers
yeah.
today. That's tough because, as the Chiefs don't want to see the
Nobody wants to see the Bengals.
Nobody wants to see the Bengals right
They're
now.
on fire.
They are on
offense
fire.
Is on. Is even more on fleek. Their defense is actually getting more than just one stop a game.
Yep.
It's weird.
Their defense has been locking in just a little bit.
They played good.
Just enough.
They actually played not horrible against the Broncos.
Yeah.
They didn't play good,
No.
You know what? They did good, just good enough.
They just get just good enough. That's
And
I
Burrow
think
didn't have
I think that's what Burrow basically told the defense.
Burrow-
Guys, just be good enough, and I'll get it done.
And Burrow didn't have to throw 4,000 yards in one game and like 10 touchdowns just to
Just to win.
God.
I mean, that's
Because that's how he was winning earlier on in the season. Like the first two
were
wins
they
they
like
had.
4-8 or something? Haven't they won like 4 straight?
Yeah, I think so.
I mean, that's
Yeah, when they were started off 1-4, Burrow was playing great football.
Mhm.
But in this fought that they were losing.
just the defense, man.
It's
That
in
damn
Burrow's situation. How
defense.
do you not call out the defense? So how do you not like?
I know, like as a captain, you gotta
I
say,
would crash out.
there's got to be a point where you're
Like-
just like, come on, like
No, like how does he not like in interviews not just say, well, I think there's obvious reason why they lost, and he says we're not making big plays. Everybody knows what he means.
Yep.
Defense is terrible. I'd crash out. But then
But I think realistically, I don't think it's gonna happen. I mean, how would the Dolphins lose to the Jets? Like, let's be honest.
I don't know.
In
man.
what way?
Maybe
Like
Aaron
unless Aaron Rodgers
takes his
decides
drugs
to,
again.
decides to come out of the grave and for one game. And,
What he used to do? What Rodgers used to do before games? He'd do something where he was.
that's true. He would do,
intoxicated.
yeah, do something.
Oh,
Weird.
shrooms? Was it shrooms?
It might have
I
been.
think it's shrooms. Yeah.
It was like something like
Yeah,
way out of pocket. Like you.
If we
found out
if
like
we
years after.
if we get Aaron Rodgers intoxicated before the game, the Jets will win.
The Jets are winning,
We'll
but
see
the Broncos,
MVP Aaron Rodgers for one game.
and then we'll need
Carson Wentz.
we'll need prime Carson Wentz to really lock in.
What year was that? 2017. Carson Wentz. What year?
Long
And
time,
then he got hurt.
like rookie year,
Nah, it was like his third year.
his
Like
second or
third
third year. Yeah, he was. Remember, he was going berserk, and then he got injured, and then Nick Foles came in and took him the rest of the way.
Dude, that's still crazy, Ron.
It was 2017. 2017. That's what it was.
Yeah. So, is there anything else to talk about from the NFL? Oh, we can't not talk about Saquon.
That's true.
We kind of mentioned him for the MVP race, but
We did, but he passed 2,000 yards last week, and he is currently 101 yards away from the record. Problem is,
Eric Dickerson, right?
he's not playing.
Yeah, he got benched.
He's not playing,
It's a smart move, though.
and it's the smartest move I think Nick Sirianni has ever done.
Don't like. It's not worth risking injuring Saquon Barkley. Because they don't get to buy, they don't get that extra week.
No, they don't.
So it doesn't matter if they win or lose. They're gonna be the number 2 seed no matter what.
No matter what.
So the only thing logically to do is to not win. There's no need to because he's already taken a lot of hits this year.
Yep.
There's no need to get him injured, risk that, or get him banged up. Just give him rest. So you can have the best Saquon Barkley possible for the playoffs when that is the most. Because the Eagles should not really care about Week 18 right now.
No.
Yeah.
Because they should look at this as there's no record on the line. And number 2 is Saquon's going to be the only starter out there. A backup offensive line is going to get you 100 yards. I mean that makes the record two times as hard as getting the record with your starting
I feel like
offensive
they're
line.
playing with the Giants all over again.
Yes, it would.
Trash team.
And he is playing the Giants, which is why people thought maybe he'll do it. But Saquon's a very humble guy. If you listen to his interviews, you listen to his mic'd up moments, like he doesn't care. He doesn't care he would rather see his backups, and see some guys that don't get a chance go out there and have some fun than him try to go for an Eric Dickerson, which I think Eric Dickerson is very happy that his record's staying. Because he was talking a lot on the internet how he had a lot more games and I had less games and all that. So
I kind of see where he's coming from. They had 16 games back then.
I think they might have had like 15 or 14, but still,
Makes sense, but it's still impressive though.
it's still in 2,000 yards is
Still
impressive. That's impressive.
in an era where passing is more pass heavy.
Yep.
More teams throw the ball.
Yeah.
But I think we did mention the Giants. We got to talk about that. They're in an interesting position right now. What should they do? Like with with their QB situation.
Do you draft a QB?
Here's my take. Trade for JJ McCarthy. Think about it. The Vikings are thinking about they're planning on shipping him out and signing him. Saying they're like restructuring his contract. Or getting him paid.
You bet on JJ, or do you use your top pick and draft one?
No. The reason why this QB draft class, let's be frank here, it's pretty mid.
It is.
The best prospect that people are talking about is Shedeur Sanders. But most NFL prospects are not even ranking him a first-round talent. And he's supposed to be the number one QB taken.
And he probably will be taken in the top 5, just hopefully. But let's be honest, it's the Giants. They're going to take Shedeur.
And the other QBs aren't much better. Jalen Milroe. He's like Anthony Richardson 2.0. It's just another year of experience. I'm trying to think who else. If Quinn Ewers goes, he's shown that he almost still too big. Piss down his leg.
Yeah, if Quinn Ewers goes, it's the stupidest thing I've ever seen. He needs to enter the transfer portal and go somewhere else.
Yeah, Cam Ward, he's good, but I don't think anybody thinks he's good in the NFL.
I don't think he's going to be.
He's one of those guys that's just a good college player that won't transition great to the NFL. Dylan Gabriel, he's
way too undersized.
He's
like 5'10", shorter than both of us.
He ain't it, bro.
No. He showed it against Ohio State. You throw a good enough amount of pressure at him, he can't. He just can't. He can't handle it. Because he's not. Well, he's not tall enough either, so he can't finesse it.
After QB. I think this QB draft class is just not worth going after that. And you should use a pick maybe to get an offensive lineman, which they need. They need offensive line. Just like take example, the Chargers. People wanted them to draft Brock Myers, which would have been fine, but they drafted the lineman from Notre Dame. Blanking on the name. Oh my God.
Joe Alt.
Yeah, Joe Alt. He's been amazing.
Yes.
And it's shown that Herbert is playing better with an offensive line.
Yeah.
So I think you'll look at that. Maybe the line, offensive line, or maybe work on a defense in this draft. Work elsewhere and then get J.J. McCarthy, trade him. So I think if you can pull that off, I think that'd be good to offseason with the Giants. But with their GM, I don't think that will happen.
I think it's going to be, because that brings up the question: who's going to be the first pick?
No, I think
because the Raiders need a quarterback, the Browns need a quarterback. Because let's be honest, why would you ever pay Deshaun Watson another dime ever again? Who else is up there? Everybody that's up there needs a quarterback. The Jets are near that top.
See, that's another thing I was going to say. Jets should also look to trade for J.J. McCarthy. Hear me out. If Aaron Rodgers stays to play one more year, you sign him for a 1-year deal. Have J.J. sit by him for one more year, or for 1 year. I'm not saying learn from Aaron Rodgers, but have Aaron Rodgers notice what he does. I'm not mentor, but there's no dude wants to mentor a backup.
That's true.
To take their job, but I think it'd be good for JJ to be ready to play, to be the true QB2 and not be injured. Sit behind Rodgers, who's better than Sam Darnold all the time and has more experience, more wisdom, etc. And I think that would also be great. So I think the Giants and the Jets, in my opinion, would be the best option for McCarthy to go.
Or even the Raiders.
See,
they got Bowers, they got Jacoby Myers. They got a top pick.
What's that line looking like? What's that running game looking like?
I'm not gonna lie. There's no run game. There's no run game with the Giants.
That's why I don't think it's a great.
The best situation is the Jets. Because there's Adams,
pieces.
There's Wilson, there's Breece Hall,
there's still pieces.
And they got Tyler Conklin.
The offensive line's pretty bad though.
They are. All those. That's
you notice all these teams.
Yeah,
their
all these
offensive
teams
lines are terrible.
Mhm.
So,
because the Jets, they should be decent. With those weapons, they should be decent. They should be 8-8, competing for this last playoff spot, but they're not.
But
They're just garbage.
I think back to your question for who should be the first overall pick. I think if you're the Raiders, you take best available. With this
Which would
draft
be
class.
what, Travis Hunter?
Travis Hunter, I'd say, because there's no QB you really want to. This is
Or-
not the draft for a QB.
Is there Mason Graham in that mix?
No, I don't see it.
You don't see it?
No, I think
Not for
people
the
are gonna-
first pick,
I
probably.
think people
No.
are going to take Travis Hunter.
I think so.
Like I think Raiders going to take best available.
Because I don't even like the first pick. I think everybody's like 3-12 or something,
It's bad.
and it's like
Hey, Giants won
It's
themselves out of the
coming
game.
down.
Giants won themselves out of the pick.
they did. They literally did. Because the Giants pretty much had it, and
Drew
then
Lock, bro. What you want to do about it?
Drew Lock just locked in, and the Colts defense was non-existent.
See, this draft could go a lot of different ways.
Because I've seen Mason Graham going 1. I've seen Travis Hunter going 1. I've seen Shador going 1. I've seen even Cam
Dude,
Ward.
sure goes one, bro.
I've seen even Cam Ward going number
Are
1.
you talking about like people's predictions?
Yes. So I mean, these are mock drafts. You
Some people
know.
are just dumb, dude. Some people do it just to get attention.
Yeah, people make it for clicks. But in my, of course, it seems like both of our opinions. Number 1 should be Travis Hunter
Yeah, I mean,
because he could solve your wide receiver problem, or he could even solve your corner. I mean, he's gonna be a lockdown
This is
corner.
this is what the Raiders should do. They should pull a draft day like the movie, not draft. You know how in the movie they didn't draft Bo Callahan?
Yeah.
The Raiders should do that. You want to why? Because of the off-field issues. Same thing as the movie. Travis Hunter, nobody knows what's going on with him. His fiance right now. I mean, dude.
But then who do you draft?
Dude, it was a certain point where like every single time I opened my phone, there was something new about it, about what was going on.
Dude,
I was like, dude.
that was bad. That thing.
All
that was
jokes
bad.
aside, though, I think he should be.
Yeah.
But
Maybe he'll use it as motivation and become the best corner of all time. You never know.
who knows, dude?
You never know.
And the question
Because
is,
he's a really good corner.
he's a better corner than he is receiver.
Yes, way better corner. He's a way better corner. And I mean, in my opinion, if you have the first pick in this draft, I think you trade back and you get draft capital for next year's. I mean, let's be honest. You're not going to be a one and flip team, especially those teams we're talking about. I mean, the Browns, I think have the best chance to flip a whole 180 and go to the playoffs again.
I feel like they should have been able to do that for a few years now. I think more of the story with the Browns is they shouldn't have given up on Baker.
I don't know why they did.
Dude, I still don't get it. They gave up on him.
Because he went 12-5 and then had a disappointing season, and they were like, okay.
Yeah,
Done.
it
I mean,
made
like,
sense.
he led you to
And
12-5.
it definitely pains Browns fans to feel that pain.
And then they're like, Deshaun Watson, oh my God.
First year he barely played.
And he got some massages, and the rest is history.
Like first year he barely played because of massages and stuff. And the next year he got hurt. And then this year yet again he got hurt. Hey, it's been Deshaun Watson for like what was his contract, like 8 years? It's crazy.
Contract, I mean, I think he was only signed for 5. I think,
He's getting restructured though.
Yeah.
He's not making all that money.
he's not, nope,
They are cutting him off on all that money.
they are definitely cutting him off.
But long story, Browns, they gotta figure it out.
Yeah,
I think this draft is great though for defensive players.
I mean, yeah, you got,
Kenneth Grant,
all the Michigan guys,
Will Johnson,
Will Johnson, Mason Graham,
Colston Loveland as a receiver.
Colston
Great
Loveland
tight
as a
end.
great tight end. I see him kind of as a Brock Bowers, like he's going to break out next year. I got a feeling if he goes to the right situation and he's that 1 or
I
2,
don't think he's as much of a vertical threat as Brock Bowers, but I think he's kind of like you need to get a first down to a reliable.
he's like a Travis Kelce.
I'd say he's more of that than like a Gronk or a Brock Bowers.
Yeah, because Brock Bowers, man, he could run around like a wide receiver.
He's a vertical tight end. He's a deep threat, like an actual deep threat.
Yeah.
Colston Loveland, not so much. You didn't see him running like 30, 40 yards catching passes.
Because there are some late first round guys that are wide receivers too, which could really help out a team like the Bills or
Abuka from Ohio State.
yeah. There's Abuka, there's McMillan. He's from Arizona. He's a great big wide receiver. Isaiah Bond from Texas.
Dude, somebody better give flowers to though. Skibido, I don't know.
Oh, Cam Scibito, whatever.
Bro's
his name.
crazy.
He's good. And Genty, too. Genty could be a top 10.
Yeah, I mean, he definitely could too.
Because he reminds me a lot of like Jahmyr Gibbs. Explosiveness, can break it. I mean, when he gets into the open field,
He doesn't
can
get the speed like Jahmyr Gibbs.
He doesn't have the top speed, but
I'd say he's more like a. I mean, he's like a. It's kind of weird.
maybe like a Dalvin Cook.
It's kind of tough
When Dalvin Cook was good.
because he runs physical, but not as physical as like a Derrick Henry. But he's quick enough, but not as quick as like a Jahmyr Gibbs.
Yeah.
He's just good all around, and it shows. So I don't know how to really explain it.
I think it's a great Cowboys pick. I'm gonna be honest,
But actually,
because that would solve their running back issues.
yeah, Ezekiel Elliott, bro. Ezekiel all the way, bro.
Yeah, they waived him.
Nah, bro. They're gonna get him back.
They're gonna get.
Don't worry, they're gonna get him back.
They're gonna be like, you
All
know,
right, they're gonna get Todd
he
Gurley.
could definitely train Genty. Yeah, let's do that. So,
But yeah, no, I think. Dude, speaking of Genty and Hunter and all that, the highest one, in my humble opinion, Genty at Rocky. Big time. You know, Travis Hunter, he had a great season, don't get me wrong, but he was not more dominant than Genty was. He was great on the defensive side. He was a good receiver. But I don't know. I just don't see Genty will Boise State all the way to the playoffs. Travis Hunter couldn't get Colorado to the playoffs. I mean, I know football is not a one-person game.
Yeah.
But, I mean, Genty was pretty much a one-man show.
It sometimes can take just one person to really.
Yeah.
Like Michigan, for example, quarterback. If Michigan has a quarterback, let's think about it. I mean, they could have won a couple more games.
Dude, Michigan and QB,
They could have beaten Indiana.
Illinois,
I
Washington.
don't know. We got murdered in that game.
It was 21-7. There's no offense, but
Oh yeah, that's right.
it was because Tuttle couldn't throw.
Yeah. Washington, we would have won because our QB play was horrible until Tuttle came in and decided to.
The only games I think we would have flat out lost no matter what.
Texas and
Texas,
Oregon.
Oregon. Other than that, though,
But that's 10-2. I mean, that's a playoff. I mean, we would have beaten Ohio State, momentum, playoffs. I think they would have thrown us in there. So
speaking of the Ohio State game, I fired good
Man.
old Ryan Day over there. Keep Ryan Day. He's doing great.
do you fire?
He's doing good,
Ryan?
man. He's doing great. Two wins in the playoffs.
Hey, I mean, they just murdered Oregon. I mean, murdered. Absolutely ruined.
Wasn't it?
It was 34-8 at halftime.
Then it was
41-21
like-
final.
Dude, it was like 41-8. That's it was bad.
Dude,
I don't know. I remember I wasn't watching the game because it was on run. And I looked at my phone and the score. And I was like, 34-8.
dude, because they scored in a minute. Their first drive, Ohio State, was a minute.
No, and then Oregon had a punt of the ball 3 out quick. And then,
Then Jeremiah Smith decided to
dude, he's
play
crazy.
like Jeremiah Smith.
He's generational, bro. He's
He really
honestly,
That's how he played in high school,
they
too.
would be better than
Martin Harrison.
Marvin Harrison.
I've said it once.
He's solid. I mean, I think he's more than solid. He's great.
He's great.
As much as it sucks to say, as a Michigan fan, but
Yeah, he's great. I mean, there's nothing you can deny there.
thankfully, Will Howard and Ryan Day didn't feel like throwing it to him very much.
Yeah, I guess they just decided not to throw the ball that day. I don't know.
Dude, Ryan Day, he's kind of like he's kind of, the moment gets a little too big against Michigan.
That rivalry just,
So
I don't think he understands
I
it.
think that at Ohio State, at the Horseshoe, with a way better team on paper, by far, not even close, no debate.
$20 million.
They're a $20 million.
They're a $20 million team. They're showing why they're $20 million
Michigan
in
does
the
not have a
playoffs.
QB.
No.
And you somehow end up losing. And I think it goes down to coaching, Will Howard not being tough.
It's
Howard,
true.
took that big hit through a touchdown, but throughout the game, he was very hesitant about getting hit. And it showed when he threw his picks and then his missed reads, some of his incompleted passes. It really showed. And
Especially on that last drive. I mean, that was a horrible sequence of plays.
I mean,
First play,
it was,
you sail it over a dude's head. Second play, you get it to Travion Henderson in the backfield, and there's literally a Michigan guy right next to him. Tackle, gets 1 yard. They got 1 yard on that last drive.
I remember.
That was horrible. It was one of the worst sequences ever.
You got to blame that on play calling. Chip Kelly.
Yeah.
Fire him. Just think about it. The entire game, it felt like it was draw plays up the middle, and then hoping to kick a field goal, and then that kicker sold.
Yeah.
He missed easy field goals.
And keep in mind, Michigan's corners and pass
Will
defense
Johnson was
was not good. Not good all year. It was mid at best. Because we played a lot of zone, and those receivers are good enough to where they can find soft spots in the zone, and I mean, it was just a horribly called game by Ohio State. I didn't get it. I really didn't. Because I thought Jeremiah Smith was going to have like 200 yards against us. I'm not going to lie.
without Will Johnson and Colston Loveland, two first-round picks.
Yeah, I mean, Will Johnson, he hadn't played for a while, so we had already been playing without him. But no Colston, really threw us off. But
Michigan, it felt like it was just trying to get field goal range for Dominic Zavada. Not going to lie. He was real MVP.
he was, yeah.
He hit how many field goals?
Two.
But one was from 54.
Yeah, he had a big one. I think it was his first field goal, right?
Yeah.
He really knocked it down. Then we had a touchdown. We had one touchdown.
But
After
it was
that pick.
After a pick.
Yeah.
3 yards.
Yeah.
That was two. Who picked it up?
Amir Hall, yeah. Yeah, that was a great.
Dude,
Great.
Michigan was honestly trying to get the win with that Davis Warren pick to Jack Sawyer.
Dude, I thought that was the game.
Jack Sawyer's honestly a bum. Let's think about this here. Could never beat the rival in high school. Talked about how he wanted to go to Ohio State and beat a rival. He's 0-4. Now he didn't play until he hasn't played until this year. And he's played solid, but doesn't still lose to Michigan.
Yeah. When you fall flat on your face against your rival, that's what happens.
Yeah.
And Michigan thinks it's a successful year because not only did they beat Ohio State,
Beat Alabama.
but a month later, they beat Bama. And that was,
Honestly, best 8-5 season ever.
Yeah.
Honestly,
you beat State, you're thinking, okay, we're in a good position to win to just go to a bowl game. Then you start winning. Then you go into Columbus and beat them. Then you're like, holy crap, this is an amazing season. You pull Alabama, you're like, crap, we got this again. Stress for a month. Then you beat Bama. That's a great season.
after all the hypothetical SEC games that Bama, Ole Miss, South Carolina will win.
Yeah.
Did you see that South Carolina lost to
Illinois.
Yeah, Illinois.
20-15.
The only team that won their bowl game out of the hypothetical SEC teams that should have made it were Ole Miss. And Alabama
They
got
won the hypothetical.
the three hypothetical teams that would have won in the
Well, they didn't win. Ole Miss didn't win.
almost didn't win. Could have swore they won their bowl game.
I think the only team that won was Missouri.
I gotta look at this.
I think they were 4. It said Big Ten was 4-1 against the SEC, and the only win was Missouri because Missouri beat Iowa barely by a field goal.
I'm looking. Yeah, they beat Duke 52-20.
Oh, well, they didn't beat a Big Ten team.
Oh no, I wasn't saying that they beat a Big Ten team.
Oh, but they won.
Yeah. No, this is what I was going at was. Okay.
What was it like a?
No, because you know how they were supposed to win, how they were winning all these hypothetical games.
Yeah.
The
only team who actually legitimately won, you were saying, was Ole Miss.
Yeah, the only team that actually won a bowl game was Ole Miss. They beat a Duke team. See, here's the thing: you want to make the playoffs, don't lose to Oklahoma by 21 and not score a touchdown.
That was
Don't
bad.
lose to a mid Kentucky team.
Don't lose to Vanderbilt, man.
Don't lose to Vanderbilt.
Vanderbilt was decent this year, I will say, but
They were 6-6 in the SEC. Cool,
but they went into it was a trap game. Just beating Georgia, but still, you can't fall for those trap games. You just can't. If you want to be in the playoffs, you want to do all this stuff. You can't lose the easy
They
games.
lost to Georgia, Alabama. No, they lost to Georgia, Oklahoma, and then you can't lose to Vanderbilt.
They didn't lose to Georgia.
No.
They lost to Tennessee, I think,
They beat Georgia. Yeah, Tennessee's not sure.
because they beat Georgia in that fantastic. Remember Ryan Williams was.
And then he fell off.
Dude, I think he had one catch against Michigan, -2 yards. I don't know. He just didn't exist after that Georgia
No,
game.
you can't go to the playoffs when you lose to Oklahoma.
That was a bad game. Oklahoma looked like they just flat out whooped
They were better. They were better from
start to finish.
So yeah, I think instead of just winning these hypothetical games, how about you win the game that get you to the game? I think that's the thing I work on more. Because they can complain all they want, but
Yeah.
you lose to Michigan without a QB. You lose to Illinois. I don't know. It doesn't make a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Maybe the SEC is not as good as they think they are. Maybe the Big Ten has closed the gap and might be a little bit better. Who knows?
Hey, it's neither here nor there. But we do got to talk about Michigan and their fantastic recruiting.
Yeah.
How about it?
They flipped Bryce Underwood from LSU to Michigan.
Yep. You guys have probably already heard the news by now, but flipping the number one player.
Yeah, I'll say this. I'll admit this. I did not think he was going to flip.
No.
I thought he was going to stay at LSU.
Was that what you? Did you say that in the last
That's most
the last one?
I
in
remember
the last episode?
I remember
That's right.
specifically saying I did not think he was going to flip it.
That's true because
Was I wrong?
I think I brought it up. I haven't checked the. But hey, he flipped. There was a lot of money involved, a lot, by some billionaire, whoever.
Dude,
Don't know his name,
I'm sure
but his
he was.
wife was the command, and and listen, it's not just Bryce Underwood we got,
Elijah Dotson.
because we got a lot of other players I should say that are going to be freshmen,
Oh yeah,
but also in the transfer portal,
got the
because now these guys believe that we're going to win games. Of course, you want to bring up the Alabama running back transfer,
Yep.
Justice Haynes, great runner, very tough runner. Reminds me a lot of Blake Corum.
Yeah,
Actually, maybe a little faster than Corum.
yeah,
be
not
honest.
as tough as a runner as Corbin, but yeah, he's got more speed.
But yeah, he's got more speed.
Got more breakaway speed
We just got a defensive lineman
from Clemson.
from Clemson and also from Bama. I don't know if you've seen that.
Oh, dude, the Bama guy is
Yep.
he went to Melbourne, right?
Yeah, he's a former teammate of Bryce Underwood's.
Yes, sir.
And then we got some twins from Arkansas, corner and a safety, which are cousins of DK Metcalf. So they got some athleticism in the family.
Shoot, they got the QB from Fresno. Mike,
Yep.
We saw him play.
Mikey Keene.
We saw him play.
It wasn't bad
Yeah, until he threw that pick six.
until he threw a pick six to Will Johnson. Let's be honest, we kind of called it at the game, because he started creeping up. We were like, oh crap, pick six. Whoosh.
Yeah, and then got the tall receiver from Indiana.
Donovan McCulley.
He's
Yeah,
solid.
Michigan. Michigan has turned the
Oh,
table.
and they got the number one FCS
Yep.
lineman.
Offensive lineman. The thing is, there's one guy that everybody's been talking about. It's this Washington State offensive tackle. I don't know if you've seen anything about it. But apparently, if we get this guy, we're loaded. We're set. Because Underwood needs a line.
He does.
And we might be flipping another 5-star
It's
in the
rumors-
class.
It's rumors are signed.
From Alabama. Because he didn't sign with Alabama. He
No,
could
he
have
didn't.
easily signed with Alabama.
He went on a visit to Michigan.
And he went on a visit to Michigan. So,
Who knows?
Who knows at this point?
It's all up there.
It's all up in the air. And again, I think, at this point, whoever Michigan gets is just a bonus.
Yeah,
And,
they got a great class coming in on the high school side and transfer portal.
And keep in mind, that was just the first segment of the transfer portal. There's still another segment for spring.
It's crazy.
So, I mean, this has really been the turning point. But, since we're, 15 minutes in, if you guys would like to like the stream for us, please, be much appreciated. Still got a decent amount to talk about here.
Yeah, we do.
So, but those were like our two big ones because we knew we had a lot to talk about. So
I think we can't not talk about the playoffs so far. So Boise State lost to Penn State.
well, let's start with the first
We're
round,
gonna go chronological
like the
order?
first round,
All right.
first round.
First game.
So like, let's just I guess
Dude,
just go
honestly,
top of the bracket
So far, the only good game has been Texas
in Arizona State.
Arizona State
Because man, the rest of the game. I mean, Penn State
destroyed us.
destroyed SMU. That freshman quarterback was not ready. Not ready at all. We were talking about it last night. That SMU QB. I mean, the worst situation you could have went in.
Ohio State
Freshman?
smacked Tennessee too.
Yeah, and Ohio State. I mean, Tennessee had no chance in that game.
Yeah.
Notre Dame owned Indiana.
Clap. Yeah.
Yeah, owned
Not
it.
even close.
Not even close. And then Texas beat Clemson.
Pretty handily.
Pretty, yeah.
That was honestly probably the best game out of the first round.
Yeah, like the first
Clemson,
round,
Texas.
yeah. Then we go to the second round, which of course is the recent games. Ohio State handled Oregon.
Not even
Oh my
close.
god, not even close. Then of course the best game of the bracket so far, Texas and Arizona State.
Texas should not have won. That's what I'm pissed about.
Here we
The non-targeting call.
I'll let you cook on this one, Jack.
Okay, targeting. What do you think? No, this is what it is. This is what
Okay,
it is.
because I didn't see the hit. This is
Oh, dude,
targeting.
I watched this shit live.
This is targeting, right? Targeting is
No, okay. Dude. No, this is literally what it is.
a defenseless player
With head-to-head contact.
with head-to-head contact from the defensive player.
Yeah.
From the defensive player. Because the offensive player engages
The
it.
receiver-
It's not.
Caught the ball.
Yep.
Yeah, the process of catching the ball. Not looking. Turns around. Still is not in the position. Still is defenseless. Gets drilled in the helmet. Head-to-head contact. Explain to me how that's not a target call.
And what was this? What was the down? Like what was
It
the?
was third down, so it made it a fourth down. And then it was like a third and 14-ish. And they're 5 yards away from getting a first down after the catch. So
Okay.
that would have been 15 yards first down, automatic first down.
Yep.
Player's ejected. You're in field goal range at that point. And the drive continues to go.
And this was like end of the game, right?
This was with like a minute to go.
A minute to go.
I think, yeah, 62 seconds to go.
And what? Game's tied up. Wow.
Texas has 2 timeouts. Arizona State has 1.
So they were really trying to get to that field goal range.
They're trying to get some points. And then Texas kicker proceeded to miss. That was after missing a kick.
Oh.
They drove down, made this a chip shot field goal. He missed that too, so he missed 2 kicks in the last 3 minutes of the game.
So basically, Texas kicker sold the game,
And then overtime,
and then they got
Arizona
saved by the
State.
refs, and then
Arizona State just couldn't do it in overtime. They don't have the athletes as Texas has. It showed.
it just showed that the longer the game got, the more distant the talent was.
Yeah, and after that targeting play, nothing really was on Arizona State's side. Like, nothing after that was really great, other than the 2 missed kicks. But Arizona State lost themselves the game that in overtime. They had the touchdown. They were ahead. And it was 4th and 12. And how do you get burned when there's 2 safeties in the back? How do you get beat by a good 5 yards in that zone on 4th and 12?
Wow. So it was 4th and 12 for the game.
And they threw a touchdown pass
Wow.
28 yards out.
That's like that Ravens-Lions game. Remember that? When it was like, and then they got that huge first down, then Justin Tucker hit the
I do remember that.
record-breaking field goal.
No, it hurts. But no, that tied it up. And then Arizona State just didn't have it after that.
Yeah.
And Texas scored a touchdown first play of their second drive.
Yeah.
And then they scored on the 2-point conversion. And Arizona State threw a pick.
Just
Pretty quickly.
couldn't handle
They
it.
had nothing. And Gavido, he was banged up big time. He was like thrown up on the sidelines. He got injured after getting tagged. Like, it was bad.
Dude.
Because he touched the ball, he had 30 carries,
Whew.
caught 9 passes, I think.
Wow.
4 passes. So he got the ball a lot.
40 times
Yeah.
touching the ball. That's not including the targets, running the extra routes, running the extra fakes.
Yeah.
That's a lot for one guy. A lot.
He hit more yards than Texas for a while.
That's crazy.
So, I mean, he's a real MVP. Texas, they're getting smoked out.
He did win. He did win the MVP.
Dude, as he should.
I seen the stat line. I was like, yeah, that's deservable.
So, yeah, now it's Texas versus Ohio State.
Which I think that's for the Natty. Winner is going to win the Natty. Let's be honest. Notre Dame and Penn State.
Here we go. If Texas hypothetically wins and Notre Dame wins, I think Notre Dame might have it.
You think so?
Yeah. I think, I don't know, dude. It's close. I think the team that's just flat out the best right now is Ohio State.
Yeah.
Penn State's playing great football right now.
Yeah, it's Ohio State's Natty to lose. Let's be honest.
Texas isn't playing great football. They shouldn't be in close games against Arizona State.
No.
And
That game, was it close? I don't think it was close.
Penn State.
That Texas, Arizona State, and then Arizona State made a big comeback, right?
No, it was 24-3.
Okay, so they had to make a little
No,
bit of
24-8.
They had to
Something like that.
make a little, because I know they had 8, because they had a safety, right?
Yeah, no, and then Scamatou threw a touchdown pass.
And that's when it really,
Then the momentum flipped.
just really started to get
But they
going.
really weren't playing great. Texas wasn't playing great prior to that. Their offense wasn't exactly killing it in the second half. And yeah, it showed. So, I think the team, like you said, the team loses to Ohio State. And then, I don't know, it's up for everybody's grass for wants to get the second place trophy. Pretty much.
Because, let's be honest, that
I think if Penn State gets a rematch with Ohio State, it could be different.
it could be different.
Because they lost.
It'll be on a neutral site, and they lost at the shoe.
They lost to $500,000.
They did. Oh, I don't know.
Here's the thing, though. It's tough to beat a team twice in a year.
That's true.
And their game was close. Just came down to Drew Allen throwing a bad pass. So, you get two fraudulent coaches going at each other, that's all.
And Penn State does have the talent. I will say that defense has looked stellar. I know they haven't
it's
played crazy people,
They shut down
but they shut down Genty. And that SMU had nothing to breathe. They gave that freshman no momentum.
Yeah.
He would throw one pass, and then the next pass, it was a nightmare. So I'm going to be honest. If it's Penn State versus Ohio State, I think that's our best possible.
Yeah.
Don't say
about Notre Dame, though.
Notre Dame is pretty good.
Their defense is playing solid.
Just, as a Michigan fan,
Dude, honestly,
As a Michigan fan, you want to see Texas versus Penn State.
that's this is my thing. I hate Penn State. I hate Ohio State. I hate Notre Dame. I'm not a big fan of Texas.
And Texas is
I'm not a fan of Texas.
Texas.
I'm not a fan of Sarkisian. I think him and Lane Kiffin are fraudulent coaches that just get jobs because they're part of staff with Saban. I think that's the only reason they're still getting jobs, because they shouldn't get it. Because Lane Kiffin has had teams that should be able to compete
That's true.
for national titles.
Think about it. He had A.J. Brown,
And you're
DK
competing
Metcalf
against-
at one point.
You're competing against teams like Duke. And Ole Miss.
What was it, the Duke Mayo Bowl?
No, that was with Minnesota and Virginia Tech yesterday.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, I think coaches like Lincoln Riley, Lane Kiffin, Sarkisian are all overrated. Sarkisian, same thing. It's a national ball. I guess it should be a team that should be able to win a natty. He's underwhelming, but playing underwhelming right now. He's scraped by because he's had an easier road, but
And let's be honest,
easier road's over now.
we all know who should be that starting quarterback in Texas.
Oh, it should be Art Man.
It should be Arch Manning. It's not close.
Dude, whenever he comes in, he plays better, and then Quinn Ewers is too hesitant to try to make mistakes.
And dude, if you had this whole year to develop Arch Manning, you know how good he would be at this point?
Pretty good.
That offense would be pretty explosive.
I think they should have just stuck with him when Ewers got hurt, because they played better with Manning.
The thing is, it's just that they don't. It's almost like they don't want Ewers to leave. It's weird.
I mean, if Ewers decides to come back for college, he's got to transfer. Arch is coming up.
Unless Arch is going to be a junior or like a redshirt
Redshirt
sophomore. So I think it's Arch Manning time.
Yeah.
I don't think you can take another year of this
Sarkis can find a way to blow that too.
because I think he can't put it aside. It's the same thing with Ryan Day. Like they should right now be developing a younger QB and instead went with Will Howard, which it's obviously worked out in their favor, but I didn't see Will Howard as getting the job done. I mean, he was not that good at Kansas State.
He's playing pretty good now.
But he's playing pretty good now, I will say. So
Michigan's playing pretty good.
As a Michigan fan, he played pretty good in that game.
Yeah. So my predictions: Ohio State's gonna be Texas. Ohio State's gonna be Notre Dame. Ohio State's gonna be Penn State.
I thought you were gonna go with the underdog.
As sad as it is, I want Penn State to win. I think they could win.
That would be crazy to have Michigan and Ohio State winning the back-to-back.
It's crazy to think that national title win. It's too good. The only thing that saved Ohio State from making the last 12th. If this was any other year,
Ohio State wouldn't have been it.
Georgia,
Oregon.
Probably.
Who would they put? They'd probably sneak in Texas at the 4.
Oh, yeah, they would put Texas, and then they wouldn't have put Arizona State.
No, they wouldn't have put Boise in. They probably
It would have been Penn State.
the 6. It would have been Penn State or Notre Dame. That would have been the toss-up.
Probably give it to Notre Dame at that point. But
Just because Notre Dame only had 1 loss,
Penn State only had one loss, right?
they had 2. They lost to Oregon
Oh yeah.
because they lost in the Big Ten
They did,
championship.
they did. But then you can't really fault them when Notre Dame doesn't play a conference championship. Right?
That's true. So they would have.
How does the committee weigh that?
So then what? You put Penn State against Georgia,
Dude.
and you put Texas against Oregon. So you don't have a back-to-back.
Yeah.
Because that'd literally just be the 4 teams who played in the SEC and Big Ten championship.
See, I don't know how the committee would do that. You can't fault Penn State for losing a championship game with Notre Dame.
And you
Theoretically.
And you
Notre
can't
Dame's
put
not
in
one.
Clemson. Because Clemson won the ACC.
Oh.
You can't put in
Why are we
Clemson
throwing in Clemson, bro?
because they won the ACC. They beat SMU.
Didn't they have 3 losses or 2 losses?
2, I think.
They were not even close to making it. Like it was the four teams that would have no shot.
But then who's the other teams who have a chance, right? Because Oregon and Georgia would have been in. There's 2 spots between Texas, Penn State,
In my opinion,
Notre Dame,
Texas and Penn State, and then Notre Dame,
Texas, Penn State.
Notre Dame on the outside looking in. Other than that, I don't think anybody else would be close.
Yeah.
So,
Because Ohio State losing to Michigan definitely.
so what are your predictions?
My predictions: Ohio State's gonna beat Texas, and Penn State's defense has looked really good. I'm not gonna lie. I think Penn State wins it all. I think Penn State wins, and then I think they beat Ohio State.
James Franklin finally gets over the hump.
Yeah.
You guys say this 12th team playoff thing is.
And it would honestly be very funny if Ohio State went all the way
Just lose to Penn State.
just to lose to Penn State.
Be something.
That would be something. Or like they lose to Notre Dame. Because Notre Dame is slept on, yes, but I think Riley Leonard chokes in the big moments. And of course, Drew Aller chokes in the big moments too, but I don't think Riley Leonard could really.
If that matchup happens, it's just the matchup of the 2 fraudulent players.
The 2 fraudulent
I
coaches.
mean, 2 fraudulent coaches. I mean, I don't know. Franklin can never actually get to the playoffs.
But Ohio State should cruise by this. This should be.
This is their national title.
This is their national title to lose. They have to play to win, not
Yeah.
to play to lose.
Seems good on college football.
Yeah.
All right, moving on to college basketball. We got to talk about our very own Michigan Wolverines. The Dusty May era is in full throttle right now.
Yeah, and they are, believe it or not, the favorites to win the Big Ten.
dude, they're honestly
They're
you
2-0.
if they were good at fitting, like if they could finish games, they theoretically could be undefeated. Because think about it.
Because they've lost by a combined 5 points.
They lost to Oklahoma by 1.
By 1.
Wake Forest by 2.
2.
And then Arkansas by
2.
2. All 3 games, which they were in control for most of it, but they couldn't close. I think this is my reason. This is my thought process for why.
Well, let's be honest. That Oklahoma game, making a damn near half-court shot and won.
happened, bro.
It happens, but like they had that game, and let's be honest, if that kid goes to the line and makes 3 in a row, it's a tie ball game.
Yeah.
And Michigan has the ball. And Michigan probably wins that game in overtime.
Yeah.
So, I mean, there's, like, of course, the Oklahoma game you got to put aside because that was just, but it happens, right? You lose that game. But Arkansas was no excuse. You were up by a lot. You let them get game momentum in the second half. And they just ended up taking over in the final stretch. And then Wake Forest is no excuse either. I mean, you just played down to their competition.
I mean,
Wake Forest won.
I think the only reason this is happening is because like they're a young they're young teams. They only have 1 senior, and they're a team that hasn't played a lot together. There's 2 returning players from Michigan, and the rest is just transfer portal.
Mhm.
Some are Dusty Mays former players. Others are guys from wherever.
Yeah, I mean,
I think
we
it's
got
just gonna-
BYU, Auburn, Ohio
Yeah,
State.
it's a team that's just not as familiar with each other, getting used to it. Because there's teams that have had the same core, or a lot of players have played with each other for 2 years now. Michigan is just fresh for most of the players.
Mhm.
So, I mean, I think that's for why that happened.
But, I mean, let's be honest. I mean, the Big Ten schedule's up now.
Dude, Big Ten's
And there is no clear front runner. Like last year, there was Purdue with Edie. The year before that was Purdue. And, you know, even like the year before that, there was like 2 teams like running away with it.
yeah.
Now it's like you could argue 5 teams. You could argue Oregon.
State, Michigan.
You could argue USCLA because they're up there too. You could even argue Purdue. There's like 5, 6 teams that could win this thing now that the Pac-12 and Big Ten have combined.
Yeah.
So, but Michigan's the favorite. What do you think about that? Do you think Michigan's the?
See, I don't know. It's tough to tell. Because, like you said, there's nothing clear. Like, I think Michigan could run the table with the Big Ten, but it also wouldn't surprise me because it's kind of early-ish. You know, March Madness is still kind of far away. The Big Ten tournament is still pretty far away. We haven't started playing Big Ten yet.
I think
Yeah,
we're
didn't it just
2-0.
Yeah.
But like this is like where like you only play Big Ten
Yeah.
for like a straight
It's
month.
just now getting into it pretty much. So anything can happen. No, I think ask me a month, and or ask me, after 5 more games, and I can give you a good answer. But I mean, I think Michigan definitely. I think anybody who's in the top 5 or 6 has a chance to run the table. It's just a matter of who's playing the best come time to the Big Ten title. I think that's just really what it comes down to.
I mean, do you think it's clear that Michigan's going to make the tournament?
Yeah.
You think so at this point?
Yeah.
They're going to make the tournament.
Yeah.
I hope it's a higher seed because I'd like to actually be confident in picking Michigan in my bracket because that one year when I chose them over Tennessee, I was not confident. Remember in that round of 32, I don't know how they even beat Tennessee. That was with Dickinson. That was such a bad year, but they went in and won 2
Speaking
games.
of Dickinson, dude, bro's got to get a job.
Man, he's
Bro, I remember
fifth year.
Fifth year.
Fifth year.
He's gonna come back for 6 year watch. Nah, dude, I remember we were freshmen in high school. We were freshmen in Michigan.
That boy
Bro's
is.
gonna let it go.
Yeah, he really
Because He's
does.
an old. He's like 24.
Yeah.
So he's an older. He was an old. So theoretically speaking, he should have been a class below.
So what is he?
He's 24.
So I guess he is a senior this year. A true senior. But still, I mean,
I mean,
He should have been out of there sophomore year. After
remember-
Michigan made that run, he should have been out of
I
there.
remember he kept going to like the
Combine.
draft combine where they evaluate you.
And they
kept
just-
he's
Well, they told him to shoot.
he can't go to the right.
Nope.
He's slow. He's not exactly the most athletic big man I've seen. There's more. There's like you can get away with it in college, not being super athletic, but he's just bigger than everybody.
Yeah.
In the NBA, everybody's big.
And everybody's
You
athletic.
can't pull the stupid left thing, fadeaway hook.
You
I guess
can't
that'd
pull
be-
up. You can't pull a fake spin, dribble one time to the right, and then just go up and
You
dunk
can't
it.
do that against Victor Wembanyama. You can't do that against Joel Embiid. You can't do that against Cat.
You can't do that against Jokic.
You can't do it against Embers. Everybody's like seven. Every center in the league is 7 foot, athletic.
And let's be honest, those NBA players, since it's their job and they don't have to worry about school, the rest of the time they're not in the court, it's film. They're going to study you and make sure that they know exactly what move you do.
I mean, his is pretty simple. He doesn't play a very complicated game.
No.
He can't put the ball on the floor very good. So I think that's why I don't think he'll be a great NBA player because he's.
I don't think he will be an NBA player. I think he's going to go undrafted. He's going to go to the summer league. He's going to go through that whole process and then end up in like China.
I feel like some teams are going to take him like the late second. It's just the gut feeling, but
Well, I mean, he is averaging 20 a game in college, so I guess somebody will take him a shot.
he's good. He's a good college player. I don't think he's going to be a good NBA player. I don't even think he should make an NBA team. Neither here nor there.
I think he probably will. It's just like one of those backups. You know, they throw him for like 2-3 minutes. Just don't screw up.
How's the rest of college basketball looking though?
I mean, it is a toss up. There is no clear cut winner.
Dude,
Like Tennessee's the one, but
UConn's not what.
and UConn is not three-peating. They are not three-peating. This is not a.
Big time drop off.
I don't even. I can see the guy, but I don't know his name.
Really?
Yeah, Hurley. Dan Hurley. That's it. He does not have that team together. He's brought in I think he's brought in too many transfers. There's not a mixture of, because these past 2 years he's had a mixture of his own players and transfers, and he's gelled them pretty well together.
Yeah.
This year, it's not there. He doesn't have the point guard. He's relying on too much younger guys, and you can tell he's getting visibly frustrated by all of it.
I mean, it's tough that you win 2 natties and you don't even lose 10 games in those 2 years. It's understandable when you lose 3 games in a tournament.
Yeah, I mean, that was horrible. They placed 7th place in the Maui Invitational.
Yep.
And it wasn't like there was like a ton of like crazy teams. Like there was Auburn and Iowa State. They're both really solid teams, but
It's not like Tennessee or anything.
but it was not 7 teams deep to where you should have placed 7.
Yeah. I mean,
Because even Michigan State placed better.
they just don't have it.
They do not have the. I mean, maybe Dan Hurley's just a March guy, but
There's other teams that say otherwise.
But UConn's probably going to make the tournament because now they're going to the Big East play, and let's be honest, the Big East is weak. Ever since Jay Wright's left it, there is nobody to compete. And then the SEC looks really good. I mean, there's Tennessee, 2 teams that are playing right now, Florida and Kentucky. There's Oklahoma now, and there's many other teams that are really good. But I mean, Big Ten, we talked about it. You know, there's some deep. You know, these are some.
SEC's always deep.
It's really a toss-up. It is really a toss-up. There's no clear-cut winner,
Yeah.
and Duke is not that big awe that we thought they were going to.
no, Cooper Flag's good. I think he's overrated.
Yeah, I mean,
ESPN just glazes the fuck out of him.
yes. Like he's good in the one-on-one.
Bro dropped 12 points, and they'll glaze all 12, bro.
Look at this bucket. I
I
mean,
mean, it's cool, but
like he makes some good moves, I will say. But he's not a guy you can tell that's like that will win you the game at the college level. Like in high school, that's what he did.
yeah,
You gave him the ball and he would win the game.
like
You can easily get away with that in high school. I mean,
can't
we
do
did
it
it.
against
We did it. So we did it.
Bro.
We did
Move
it.
on from high school basketball, bro.
We did it. But
Yeah, I don't know. I think let everybody play through some conference schedule games.
yeah, you really gotta wait for
Dude,
like
it's
20
so early.
games.
It's so early.
It's like the NBA. Like you can't really talk about the NBA a ton
Dude, the NBA is, in my opinion,
Because again,
so
you're
boring.
just jumping the gun. Because the Pistons have played 34 games. Because I think they look pretty good, but you don't know.
See, they look pretty good, and then they don't look good. It's so weird.
Yeah.
Like, I was at a game where they hit the game winner. They hit a game winner against the Heat.
Mhm.
Then they proceeded they were on like a good streak in the cup, and then all of a sudden they were on a losing streak.
And they end up losing to the Bucks after they lost to the Bucks. I mean, which the Bucks did win the NBA Cup.
Yeah.
We're gonna flow into that. Here we go.
But yes, that's enough of the college basketball talk. So now we're just really talking about NBA now. Bucks did win the NBA regular season
NBA Cup.
tournament cup.
Yep, they beat the
I
Thunder.
mean, yeah, it was
Lowest scoring affair.
yeah. I don't think a team got over 100, right?
No, I think it was like 95-90. Which is, it seems like the cup is working to keep players competing.
Yeah.
Because Giannis did say, "I'm gonna take my bonus and
Everyone wants the 100.
get out of here." Yeah, they all want it. I mean, let's be honest. If you got paid $100K to just win one tournament middle of the regular season,
Oh yeah, it makes everybody
That's
try a
pretty
whole
good.
lot. It makes everybody try a whole lot more.
now of course guys like LeBron James don't try, but teams like, I mean,
Well, no, yeah, think about it. The guys who, like LeBron James, 100K to him, nothing. It's like $100.
like Steph, like you can just tell like the older veterans who have already made their money.
Like, dude, 100K to him is like $100 to the average person.
Yes.
So, they don't really care about the money part of it. But it's the guys who are role players who 100K to them, it's a solid bonus.
Yeah, I mean, if you're getting paid $500K a year and you get $100K, it's a fifth of your year. I mean, that's
So, it adds up for some of those players. I think it's guys with less contracts that really take that more seriously. Kind of like the Pistons. Somebody has like a huge contract except for Kane.
Yeah.
So, a lot of those guys are really fighting to get that paper. So,
and even, I mean, it really has made games more competitive in the middle of regular season as well. Because like that Rockets Warriors game, it was 91-90. Like the last time you seen like a bunch of 90-point games like that
the 90s, bro.
was the
Give
90s.
me the 90s.
Was the 90s. It literally has looked like 90s, but like in that NBA Cup, people play defense, man.
Tell you, bro,
Defense.
Defense was way more emphasized.
Because you went to one of the NBA Cups games, right, against the Heat?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you see, there was probably a lot of defense.
I mean, there was, but there was also a lot of offense from Tyler Hero.
Yeah.
It's not that the Pistons were playing bad defense. He was just taking crazy shots.
Yeah.
He hit, I think, 10 3-pointers.
Yeah, I mean, the NBA, it just seems like the NBA players take their defense to a whole other level. And I think it's at the perfect time of year to where if somebody gets, hypothetically injured, there's time to recover.
Yeah.
So I think it's a very, very good. I mean,
I really do like the cup. I think it's a good thing. It keeps me a little bit more interested in the NBA because I remember when it was just the 82 NBA Cup. Dude, I did not watch the regular season until like the last 5 games.
yep, you never watched it. You kind of just looked at stats periodically. You kind of just looked to see who was at the top.
You see every now and then like a highlight. It's cool.
You're like, oh wow, poster, wow, that's crazy.
Dude, now it's worse. You watch the cup, see who wins that. I think it's a little bit boring, but
Yeah, but
dude, I'll tell you, once playoffs come around, I love watching
Yeah.
NBA basketball.
oh, yeah.
Prior to that, though, like just after the championship, it's I feel like in that middle part of it, it's just not good in my opinion. NBA is boring.
Yeah, because even right now, it's a little boring. Yeah, you kind of just keep track of the record and
Yeah.
watch every once in a while.
Like- Yeah.
But yeah, NBA. I mean, who do you think's the front runner right now?
I'm gonna have to go with the Thunder are a good young team. I like them. Bucks can't count out the Nuggets, the Bucks when they have Giannis and Jokic.
Yep.
Can't ever count them out.
Never.
See, there's a lot of teams that are like close. There's no like true front runner in my opinion. It's kind of tough. I don't think the Lakers are gonna be
There's no way.
contending for a title. I think they're solid, but they're not great. My LeBron, he's just doesn't have it. He just doesn't have
I mean, he turned 40.
Hey.
Yay.
Hey, to the GOAT debate though, just now surpassed Michael Jordan with most 3-point games. It only took him 8 more years after, 8 more seasons than Michael Jordan played to do it. But hey, Michael Jordan's my go. Always will be. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah, now it's just a
Who do you think's going to take out Golden State?
no. They would have to make some significant trade deadline thing, and the player would have to gel by the time playoffs roll around.
That's usually never works out.
Which it's always like you always got to sign somebody in free agency. If you're gonna sign somebody big or you're gonna trade for somebody big, it's got to be in the offseason. That's what you've learned with the NBA is if you sign the right guy in the offseason, you can win titles.
Yeah.
Like the Warriors with KD. I mean, they signed KD and 2 titles.
Bro.
You know,
That's a whole lot.
same with the
That was
Celtics.
a damn super team, though.
I'll keep going.
That was a damn super team.
Nuggets, right? They signed a couple guys in that Nuggets offseason. They signed Bruce Brown. They signed a couple guys. They end up winning the title. Celtics the next year, they signed Porzingis. They win the title. Porzingis was a factor. Be honest.
I mean, he was a factor. Yeah, no, all those guys are factors. But
He was a
you can't compare the Warriors to the Nuggets and the Celtics. The Celtics, 2 drafted players with Brown and Tatum. But Porzingis and the role players from the Nuggets were nowhere near as highly impacted as Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant and that team, 3 superstars, 4 if you want to play 3 superstars and an all-star with Draymond.
Yeah, I was gonna say don't call Draymond a superstar.
Yeah,
He might hear this randomly in a clip and then get all of his ego back.
Yeah, dude. That is not the same as the Celtics or the Nuggets. Not even close. So I think
Well, my point was like just if you make the right signings in the offseason, it seems like you could really get over the hump. Which,
I mean, the Celtics got
got
Jalen
Drew Holiday too.
Dude, but where's the Kevin Durant in that one?
I'm just saying, like, if you make the right moves in the offseason, it seems like, you can really get over it.
Drew Holiday's
And the team that I see who did that this offseason was the Thunder. Because they went out and got Hartenstein when New York wouldn't pay him. And New York has made all these trades and stuff, and they try to really finesse this. But in my opinion, it's too much star power on one team. There's only one ball at the court, after all. There's not 3 basketballs in the court,
Yeah.
There's one. There's one to go around, and for Brunson to get all of his shots, for Cat to get all of his shots, it's just it doesn't look right.
I mean, I can see that. You can't ever count the Knicks out, though.
Yeah, you never can. I mean, with that much depth, yeah. But then again, who's the coach again?
For the Knicks?
The guy who plays everybody 48 minutes a game.
Bro.
And by the time playoffs come around, some superstar gets injured, and you're like, oh my
He's a
God.
lunatic, bro.
Dude, he's insane. He is insane.
We got to talk about Jimmy Butler, though.
But yeah,
Jimmy Butler.
is this how we're going to end this thing?
Yeah. Got off this, bro.
This man, Jimmy Butler.
Him and his agent, bro. See, his agent was going to Shams.
About what? Just
The Shams tweeted a month ago that Jimmy Butler has requested a trade. Like his agent is shopping for him, shopping new places for him.
yeah.
And the agent quote tweeted saying that it wasn't true. Like, this is false. And he went a whole paragraph about how he's like a dad. It was so weird. But he's like, I would entertain this more, but I'm like a middle-aged dad with kids. I'm like, let it go, bro. And then, lo and behold, a month later, dude, the agent kept going at him. On Christmas, he quote tweeted the Shams again, he was on his dick.
Because Shams, I'm not going to lie, he's definitely going to take a little bit to replace Woj.
Yeah.
And by a little bit, I mean like a couple of years.
Bro, Woj was something.
Because Woj was legit.
Woj was my dog.
Woj, I mean, he must have had his phone on, and to be like that up in the game, people respect you.
Yeah.
And people will call you immediately, hey, my player's got this, this, and this.
I mean, Shams is the only.
And he just knows everything pretty much.
Yeah, that's pretty much what it is. And then
that's why he was thrown into the job.
To have the agent go at him, dude, that's crazy. The agent going at an analyst, or not analyst, but an insider.
Yeah.
That's funny. And then lo and behold, a month later, Jimmy Butler.
Jimmy Butler,
Pretty
is,
open about
and the reason why he got suspended was because he talked about wanting to be traded too many times. And then he just got sick of it and said, we're just going to give you 7 games because we're just pissed at you.
That cool, bro.
But the thing is, the MVPA is looking into it to revoke
As they should.
the suspension, which makes
That's
sense.
goofy, bro.
'Cause let's be honest, why would you suspend a guy
You can't-
for
you
wanting
can't-
to trade?
You can't
It's not-
request a trade.
Yeah, it's not like
I've done that at 2K, bro, too many times.
yeah.
Come on, I didn't get suspended, but
It's not like
that's such a stupid rule.
you can't prevent the player. I mean, unless it's in the contract to like you can't talk about being traded, which
That'd
who
be
the
some
hell
weird
puts that in the
contract.
contract.
Yeah.
Like it's almost like you just are forcing the player to be there. So, I mean, that's how we end it. I mean, it's just a
Yeah.
funny thing. It's
It's
7
crazy.
games. It's like it's just so random.
Tyler
But he
said
has
something
been
else.
talking about it. That's because it's also going to cost Jimmy just over $2 million for that suspension. Yeah, I mean 7 games is
What's $2 million to a guy like Jimmy? Come on now.
that's true. Because Jimmy's gonna be like, man, I'm gonna go sign somewhere else and
He'll be good. He'll
make it right
stick
back.
with
Yeah, I mean, 2 million. I mean, Jimmy's probably got so many endorsements, and he's in Florida. He's got no taxes. I mean, come on.
Well, he is, but like,
Well, like,
yeah,
like he's not.
you're not taxing.
You know what I mean? You know what I mean? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's it.
Is that it for?
Episode.
That is it for episode 30. Wow, hour and a half. That's pretty good.
Got a lot to talk about.
A lot, yeah, a lot. Of,
Not a lot of topics, but a lot to talk about in the topics.
yes,
So
because NFL. I mean, we missed a lot of the season.
we did.
Because Bengals are competing for a playoff spot. If you asked us the last time we did an episode, I don't think we would have even thought about it.
They weren't even close. They
We weren't even
included their
close.
percentage was like 1.
Yeah.
Like just something
It
else.
was like under 1.
Yeah.
But thank you guys so much for tuning in. This has been a good one. It's been a good one, yeah. Episode 30. Make sure you guys like, subscribe to the channel if you're new. And with that being said, the All American Valley Boys are out. We'll see you in the next one, episode 31. Peace out.